Hey, good morning everybody on YouTube. Today we're going to be making a video of some of the different camera equipment we use to make car videos, take pictures. People ask us sometimes on Instagram and YouTube what it is that we use. We use everything from iPhones to GoPros to cameras, tripods, suction cup mounts, and we'll review all that for you today so you know. Check it out. All right everybody, so I'm going to shoot just this first part of the video with my iPhone, one so you can get a feel for the iPhone video, and two because I'm going to switch over to one of the other cameras with the wind muff on it. I am outside filming this with the help of my two assistants over there who are just rolling around fighting. So we'll be making this video, but I do want to switch cameras, but I wanted to at least give you a quick shot of this before, and then in a little bit we'll take some of the stuff over and show you how we put it on the Demon when we're using it on the car. So let's get into it. So this is the setup that I'm going to use today to film this video. I'm taking this little shot with my iPhone just to show you what I'm using. But this is a Gopro Hero 5, and you can buy this little case. I think it's aluminum case. You can buy that off of Amazon. And what that allows you to do is you can put these accessories on it, like these little cold shoes that hold various accessories. And right now I've got a Rode video microphone on it. And then I've also got it sitting right now on a RAM mount, and I've got several of those that we'll review here in a few minutes. And then I've got the standard GoPro microphone adapter. The audio coming out of the GoPro is not, it's not great. If you're in a quiet indoor setting, it might work, but if you're outside or have other background noise or wind, it just doesn't work. And so you'll probably want to upgrade and use your mic if you do use something like this. And that's just plugged in again. That Rode microphone plugs into the microphone adapter, which plugs into the side of the GoPro, and this little case has an access area here so you can get access to it. And this is just a USB-C plug, and that's a GoPro factory accessory you can buy. So you'll notice that this is the front of that camera, but I've got the microphone on backwards, because most of the time if I'm walking around and filming like this, there really is a big difference in the audio quality when you've got it facing forward versus rear. So I've got it set up like this, assuming that I'm talking into it and then filming whatever I'm filming, but you can very easily pop this off and flip it over if you want. You could even have it so it's sticking straight up as well. But that's the way that I've got this one right now, and I'll show you the RAM mounts in a few minutes. So that's it. I'm going to switch off of the iPhone and get over to this camera now. All right, so we have a lot of stuff here. Right now I've just got it all sitting in a little plastic box. That's a nice zipper weather, or Ziploc, excuse me, weatherproof or weather resistant case. I normally keep everything in here. It's kind of a mess right now, but I have a tripod, pretty basic tripod. I think it's Sunpack, and use that for still shots or various, if I'm doing video and I like a longer standing video. I've got a variety of different mounts here, so let's kind of get into it. So I have one of the still cameras I use is this Panasonic. I got a big mess going on here. Is a Panasonic, I think it's a FZ200. It's a super long zoom lens, which is really nice. And right now I have the cap on it. But the nice thing about this one is you can zoom way in with this camera. It's got pretty good tracking, pretty good focus. And I'll use this on the tripod. Again, I really like it because of the zoom capability. A lot of these other still cameras like the GoPros that we'll go over are not much in the way of zoom, and so this really allows you to get in if you're trying to get something a little further away. So that's one, and I think this might be, I've got it on 12 megapixel now. I think it might go all the way up to 20 megapixel, but that's one that we use. All right, then we've got, that's that camera. Got a bunch of different mounts. I got a bunch of different GoPros as well. So here's our GoPro case, and then we've got a lot of accessories for the GoPro. So this is just a standard GoPro case, and then inside I've got a few different cameras. Inside I've got two GoPros here. I've got the one that I'm filming this with, and then I've got another one in here somewhere right here that is on a mount right now. We'll go over that mount in a few minutes, but normally I would keep all four GoPros kind of lined up in here. I've got a few different remote controls that you can use if you are skiing or doing some kind of activity, or you want to be remote, or if you've got it on your windshield but you don't want to have to reach up and turn it on, you can just click this button and turn it on. I think some of these are actually even voice activated. I haven't really used those much. In here I have a Usbc adapter, so I use a MacBook for all of my video production, and inside here is, if I can get it open, is a Usbc adapter that allows you to get in, quickly connect the video cards. If you pop them out, you can put them in here and then connect to your computer. I've got a couple different random mounts in this box as well. And then this GoPro case is kind of nice. Normally I have it in here, but there's a little pouch that goes in here that will hold additional batteries or cables, and you can tuck that in right there and then close that up. But that works pretty well for transporting, keeping it all together and contained. Right now I just kind of threw it all in here to bring outside. I'm not normally this messy. So I've got a couple different standard GoPro mounts. So this is the GoPro clamp mount. I've used this one a couple times, but not a whole lot. Pretty much straightforward. You just clamp it onto different things that you want to clamp it onto. Like, let's see, if you wanted to, for some reason, to clamp it onto that, you could. And then there's a GoPro mount here, and you can twist it and configure it different ways. So pretty nice, pretty versatile. That's probably a little bit better, more sturdy. You can turn it around a lot of different ways. But pretty good kind of all-around clamp to be using. Let's see what else we've got in here. Actually, I guess I can review this real quick. We've got one of the cameras that I use kind of as a daily all-around when I'm not using a GoPro. The GoPros are really nice for the wide-angle lens, but if you want something a little higher quality and kind of an everyday camera, I use the Canon G7X. I was a little late to the adoption of this camera. I actually just picked it up a couple months ago. This camera's kind of in its later stages. There'll probably be a new version of this coming out soon. But nice all-around camera. You'll notice that I've got a wind muff on the top of it. That's kind of important. Otherwise you will get wind noise. That's one thing you'll see a lot of YouTubers, they've got videos they're making to get a little bit of wind noise in the background. So if you're not using an external mic, it's good to get something like this. I think this one's wind muff. You can look them up on Amazon and eBay and find them out there. And then I've got a bunch of different extra batteries for it. And one thing I like about this camera is that one of the things you need to consider if you're doing selfie mode, having a flip up screen or flip out screen is always really nice. You'll notice in this particular case, we've got this screen, and it inverts when you flip it over so you can see what you're doing and take a selfie. It also folds out like this too, so that you can if you're shooting kind of a lower profile shot and you want to be able to look down on it, you can do that as well. That's one thing I forgot to mention. The Panasonic camera has the same thing. It has a flip out to the side, and then it also rotates and turns, so you can do a lot of different stuff with that as well if you're trying to do kind of some selfie action or taking videos and want to see what you're filming. All right, some of the other stuff. So I got a variety of different mounts from this company. Joby, I think is how it's pronounced. This one happens to be for an iPhone, where you can go ahead and essentially just put your iPhone in here, and then you can turn it different ways. So again, nothing wrong with shooting videos with a camera phone. If you've got a good camera phone, if you're going to be outside, you do have to deal with the noise. That's one thing that you'll have to try and address. But these mounts are really nice. They're really flexible. They've got different adapter heads that you can put on them. Like, I can take that one off. I can attach this directly to the camera. A lot of the times these are nice if you want to do, where you can get the camera away from you a little bit, so I'll do that. So I've got a couple different ones of those in different sizes. Here is a RAM mount. So this company called RAM Mounts, they make these suction cup mounts, and they're super, super nice. They're very strong, and they're very flexible in terms of just the different arrangements that you can do here. And I'll show you those in a few minutes. We'll put a few of these on the Demon and show you what that looks like. But made by RAM Mounts, really, really easy to adjust. I've got 4 of those total. One I'm holding and shooting the video with, a couple more here with various adapters on them. And then I've got another one in here somewhere in this box, but here we go. And you'll also notice that they're different lengths. So this one's a real kind of a shorter one, whereas this one is a little bit longer and taller. And they make some extra, even really long arms that you can do as well. But Got 4 of those total, and again, I'll show you in a few minutes how you can use those. This is a Manfrotto camera mount that came with the G7 kit that I bought. So that was the way that this works. You essentially just screw right into the bottom, pretty straightforward. But it's pretty cool in that, one, it's a tripod, so you know the legs fold out pretty quick, and it's a tripod. You can use it for that, or you can fold them up and you can use it as a selfie stick, which works as well. And then the cool thing about this one is it's got this button here that if you push, this ball head completely moves around, and when you let up, it locks it wherever it is. So one of the things I'll often do is kind of turn it this way, and then you can hold it like this as a selfie stick, so that you can you'll get some distance between you and the camera and get a little bit of a better shot there. But really like this case. It's really portable. This is kind of my go-to for if I'm just going out and I need something or I want to be ready. That's something that I'll take with me. So that's that one. All right, what else do we have in here? So I got a few other mounts and cases. This one, I'll get this one out of here so it's not tangled up, but this is just simply a CWAG iPhone water resistant case. You can put your iPhone in here, or other phones I guess, and it's got a waterproof seal up here that you could tighten. You don't need necessarily a lot of waterproofing for car videos, but if you are out and it's raining or you're at some show, it's I think specifically designed for things like snorkeling or shallow water scuba diving. But hey, it works for car videos as well if you happen to be out on poor weather. All right, this is the case for the G7 that I should probably be using. This is so a few things I've got in here. I guess I'll go over some of these. So this is the GoPro, I think they call it the Chesty Mount. So kind of goes over your chest like a backpack, and then you have the ability to mount your GoPro right here. I think I'll probably use this in a few minutes when I'm shooting the video of the Demon and putting some of those suction cup mounts on. So I'll keep that out and I'll use that to show you how that works. I also have a headset mount. So this essentially does a similar thing, goes over your head. I don't know if it would go over a helmet necessarily, but this goes over your head. It's got some rubber grip material, and then you can do kind of a point of view shooting if you want to have a GoPro mounted on your forehead and shooting down, taking a picture of whatever you're using. Probably should be using that for this, but I'm using the external mic, and you know that's the thing with this, you can't really put a lot of weight on this. It starts to want to fold forward, just not as, you know, you can keep a light GoPro there, but anything more than that is probably going to be too much. All right, this is a phone mount for like one of those Joby mounts that we looked at, one of those Gorilla Pods. Here's a smaller Joby Gorilla Pod, so you could use this for iPhone or maybe a single GoPro, something really light and small. You know, nice thing about these two is that they grip around different surfaces, so you can do different stuff like this as well. A little tougher to do one-handed, but you get the idea. And there's a little ball mount in there as well, so you can you know, film that, move that around exactly. So all right, other stuff. I've got another GoPro. I don't know if they call this a selfie stick. I'm not sure what they call this one, but this is a triple, and this folds out, so you can get this thing way out there, and you can kind of get an idea. And the nice thing about it too, so this one folds up, so if you want it to be a little more compact, you can. And then I think there's a push button here that I've got to lock. Sorry about that. Push button, it comes all the way together like that. And then the cool thing about this one too is this one also has a little tripod in the bottom. And if you pull that out and flip that over, sorry for the close-up there, pull that out, flip that over, you can use that as a tripod. So kind of works nice. Again, you know, if you need different variety, you bring one handle, you've got a selfie stick and a tripod with some adjustability if you need it. All right, what else do we have in here? I've got a GoPro battery charger. So you know, you can just charge the GoPro, you don't need a charger like this, but if you're doing if you've got a lot of batteries and you're doing a lot of charging and a lot of different cameras like I do, this is a great kind of rapid charger that does 2 at a time. just got a USB plug, so a lot of these days cars have USB plugs in them. You can do it mobily as well, or you can do it at home. Here is another phone mount, so variety. This one was for a kind of a wider phone. Some of the mounts don't necessarily fit the plus phones, but this one does, and it's just got a tripod 1/4-inch screw in on the bottom that you can use, so similar. A GoPro handle mount, so for doing essentially kind of a waterproof handle. I think it's a floating handle, more for like snorkeling. It's a really light handle with a nice foam grip, so if you were just doing a simple walking around shooting with a single GoPro with no noise, no muff or anything like that, you could probably use this. Battery charger for the Panasonic. And let's see what else we've got in here. Battery charger for the Canon. That goes over there. So in here I've got a, and I'll show you how this looks in a minute, but for this rig that I'm filming this video with right now, I've got a small, let's see if I can got a small light that I use that I mount onto the cold shoe, and this allows you to, you know, do like low light backlight conditions. So really simple light. Again, I bought it off of Amazon. It runs off of 2 AA batteries. You simply turn this dial and you can see, gives you a little bit of backlighting where you might need it. I don't do a whole lot of night shooting, but if you did, this works great. And there's an additional cold shoe here, so if you needed to put some accessories on, there's actually 2. And I'll show you what that looks like on this particular camera in a few minutes. A couple different miscellaneous bags in here. I always keep a set of earbuds just in case I'm doing some monitoring and I need to be able to listen and hear. I've got a few different, for when I am shooting with the iPhone, I've got a few different kits for lenses. So, you know, one thing, the iPhone, it doesn't do great from a wide angle standpoint. So I've got a wide angle lens that I use, and really helps a lot. I'll try to show this to you here. So again, another kit. A lot of these things are super inexpensive. I mean, you can get these for a bargain. I mean, I think this was maybe 10-15 bucks on Amazon. But essentially the way this works, it's got a little cap to protect it on the front. It's got a cap on the back, and then it screws into this little clip. And that's it. And then you take your iPhone and see if I can try and demo this for us. And then when you try to take a video, you'll notice here, see if this works, but all you have to do is clip it over the camera. So if you can try and see, let's see if we can get a good example here. If you'll notice kind of what I'm shooting now, and then if you put this over the camera, you just got to find the spot where it's at, which I'm not doing a very effective job of. There we go. It essentially makes your GoPro, makes your phone like a wider lens. So here I've got a little bit more field of view, maybe tough to see, and then if you pull that off, it's a little bit narrower. So it gives you an extra few feet of coverage. Tough to demo again on this video, but I recommend that you pick one of those up if you are going to be doing a lot of footage with the iPhone or an equivalent phone. Then that's probably something you want to look into, some kind of a wind mic, as well as some type of a wide angle lens adapter. Got a variety of different GoPro cages. This one goes on here when I don't have this other mount on. And what else do I have in here? A variety of different mounts. So here's a helmet mount for skiing when we're skiing. There's wrist mounts that you can use. This is another iPhone lens kit. Again, I think when I was buying them, I wasn't sure what I was going to like, so I bought a few different ones. And this just has, I think, like a polarizing lens as well as a few other lenses in it. And you can pick these up pretty cheap. There's 4 lenses in this one, along with another little clip so that you can clip that over your phone. A few more batteries. I've got a lot of batteries, so when you're out shooting, you don't want to be out of batteries, especially if you're at an event all day. I think I've got 5 for the Canon. I probably have the same amount, maybe 7 or 8 for the GoPros. An extra mic adapter for the GoPro, and then a bunch of just different miscellaneous mounts I keep in bags, and other GoPro screws, because you never know what you're going to need. There are some different adapters here as well, like this adapter is for the suction cup mount, which is right here, which I didn't show you. This is kind of GoPro's factory kind of OEM suction cup mount, pretty straightforward. You'll actually see a lot of people will do videos on these all the time. They'll carry it around like this as a selfie and then put it in their car when they need to put it in their car. The nice thing about GoPros, I mean, you can film upside down and it'll flip it over for you as well. So you can put this again in your car, on your windows, on the side of your car, however you want to do it. So I use a combination of those as well as the RAM mounts to do what we're doing. I've got another mount here for like a pole, or specifically it's actually built for a seat post for like a bike, or handlebars for a bike, but I suspect you could even use it on stuff like this if you had the right size. Again, more adapters, more miscellaneous pieces for adjusting so that you always have what you need. And last but not least, if you're not using a microphone like the one I have right now, this Rode video mic, one of the things you can pick up is this an iRig microphone for your iPhone, or really any external audio. It just works great. So I'll use this with the GoPros, with the GoPro adapters, the mic adapters. You can use it on some of the other cameras and phones as well. If you're using the iPhone 10, you do need the adapter for this, but a small little lavalier mic. It's got a little bit of a wind muff on it, but makes a big difference in terms of sound quality. So I think that's it for most of the miscellaneous stuff that we've got in here. All right, so we are gonna let's go try some of these. I got a handful of GoPros and mounts. We're gonna try some of these on the Demon and kind of show you why we have some of the stuff that we have. So good news, these are pretty durable. So we're gonna go in, first thing, just kind of show you. So a lot of times people will put these on the side of the cars if they want to do a side shot. We use them at the track as well. So if you want to get an angle on the person you're racing, you can do stuff like that. You can put them right on the windows. So the nice thing about these RAM mounts, you essentially just press them down. Oops. You press them down, and then there's a little switch at the bottom that you just kind of ratchet over. I have this one pretty loose, but then you adjust these however you want, tighten them up a little bit, and you could really kind of move them any which way you want. And so if you wanted to have one kind of going that way to shoot your competitor, whoever you're racing, you could do that. You could do another one here that's shooting down the body line of the vehicle, so you can do something like that as well. And then do another one here, so you could do another one here, kind of doing the same thing. You could do something on the roof if you wanted, lock it in, aim it any which way you want. So sometimes, especially from a track standpoint, if you don't know if you're going to be on the right or left, you put it on the roof or on the front of the windshield. You can kind of quickly turn it so that you get whatever angle you're going, versus setting it up on one side and then and all of a sudden you line up on the other side. So that's one. And then this is another cool one that we do. I didn't show you this other mount, but this one here is, so this is the same camera we had over there that we were filming with a few minutes ago. Right now we're filming with the G7X with a wind muff on it, so hopefully not a lot of wind noise. But this would be one scenario where if you wanted to shoot out the back, but you also wanted to get some microphone on the exhaust, like sometimes people do different exhaust notes that they want to get. So the nice thing we'll do here is I'll actually detach the microphone, pull it off of this shoe, and then we have another one of these little Joby. This is more of a plastic mount, but it is suction cup, so it still works pretty good. And we have a hot shoe adapter on it, or a cold shoe adapter, excuse me, and put the microphone on the cold shoe adapter. Not as easy to do one-handed. There we go. All right, so then you can do that, and once you have this set up, you can actually use this microphone to get exhaust by getting way down here near the pipe. So this has the same concept, a little knob, so you can adjust this thing way down. If you wanted to get it like right down here near the middle of the car, from an exhaust point. And then to get this microphone extended, I had to pick up a cheap little extension cable. They make these, and one end plugs into the GoPro mic adapter, so it really just is like an extension cord. Plugs in right there, and then you can fish this around or wrap it however you need to. I've got obviously a lot of extension here, so you could wrap it around. You could probably tuck some in the trunk if you wanted to, and then you come down here and you just plug the other end into the microphone. And now you've created a scenario where you can get video out of the back of the car, but you've got the exhaust picking up down there, and we'll get a video of that as well. I'll turn that on in a few minutes so you can, actually let's do it right now. Go ahead and we'll start the recording. The microphone is plugged in already, so it's already going to pick up the exhaust notes, and we'll play that exhaust for you and let you hear what that sounds like. Early morning, my neighbors will love me. You know, with that on there, you could absolutely do that. You know, get a rear shot and then get the audio recorded by the microphone at the same time. And or, you know, if you were filming in the car and you wanted to have, you know, if you're inside the car and you wanted to have the microphone on one side and the video on the other side, you could do that as well. So it just gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of, you know, I'm way out here with the microphone in terms of where you can position things. And now one thing, last but not least, we have one more item to film, not the dog, well, actually partially the dog, and that is a drone. So we also have a drone for some aerial shots and for different shots. Today we're just going to use it here in the yard, and I'll show you that in 1 second. Let's get this fired up. Alright, last but not least, we have a drone that we use for some shots, and I'll unpack that right now. I've got the, right now we're filming this with the Canon G7X on a tripod, just so that I can use both hands to get to this. So I bought this nice GPC case for the drone. We have, it's got lots of pockets, some Velcro, a lot of areas to store cables and cords and whatnot. And it, you know, it's really compact. This is a very compact setup. On the back of this case, it's got an area like if you wanted to put your laptop in there, if you were taking it traveling, so you could use that. And we'll open this up. So inside we have a few things. We've got the drone itself right here in the center compartment, really compact, but there's a nice foam cutout that fits all the different pieces. Here's your remote. We'll fly that in a second. Slots for 4 different batteries. They've got an area here for your charger and the cables that go with the charger so that you can keep that all together. Then there's a block charger so that you can do multiple batteries at one time. You kind of clip these around on the edge, plug once in on the bottom, and then you can run these all the way around so you can do multiple batteries at one time. And then of course the drone here in the middle, which comes out and simply unfolds. And we'll get this ready. We'll do a quick flight with it, but you've got to remove the gimbal support bracket and cover. But that's the drone. And so this runs off of our iPhone. Simply has some fold-out handles. It's made by DJI and has antennas, and then your phone just clips in on the bottom, which we'll show you in 1 second. Wife wants no part of car videos, so she gone. The drone is now on, and then there's a little app that you go into and enter the device. And you'll see my dog in the background running because my dog absolutely either loves or hates this drone. I'm not sure yet, but I guess it's a lazy man's way of walking the dog, which I'll show you right now. Alright, so I'm going to record the audio for this section on the Canon G7X, which is what I'm filming on, because the audio on the DJI drone is not great, and it's doesn't have a wind muff on it, so it's not going to be as good. But we'll go ahead, we'll take off the drone, and again you'll notice my dog is already warming up. This is where the dogs, though, and there's the other dog. Luckily, they've never got the drone. I think they just like it, but I can't tell. Take some video with that as well. You can kind of see. Sorry for the barking dog noise. Alright, now we'll show you some video of what it actually looks like with the car. You can see all of the cameras we have on the car still. But it's really nice because you can do different pan shots. Flyovers. Invisible fence so the dogs can't come over here. There's the ram. But so when you see people doing nice effects, they're often doing it with something like this. And this will go way up, so you can do a lot of different stuff with it. And when you're done shooting car videos, you can just go back to playing with the dogs. Alright everybody, that is it for that video. Hope you liked it. If you did, please consider subscribing. As a reminder, you don't need all this stuff. If you're just starting out doing car videos, I myself am a beginner. Most of the stuff you saw today is stuff that I use for not only, making videos of the cars, but also for family, right? I have pictures for kids events, going to the zoo, sporting events, things of that sort. So these are not just car camera equipment. I mean, it's used for life. And but I do have a lot of GoPro stuff that I use. I also use this stuff for snorkeling and scuba diving when we go on vacations. But again, not some. You don't have to go and buy all this stuff to make videos today. A lot of people will do it with phones. I encourage you, please leave a comment. Let us know if you're someone who's a YouTuber. Let others know what you're using. If you can comment, let them know. And also, too, don't forget, if you subscribe to my channel by the end of May 2018 here, we're going to be giving a GoPro away at the end of the month, a Gopro Hero 6, so the newest model. I think they're like $500, $600, so we're going to go buy that later today, and we'll be doing a drawing for that on June 1st. So subscribe to the page and you'll have a chance to win. You also need to be following me on Instagram. Chicago Mopar is our Instagram handle. Check that out. And again, thanks for the time. Hope you enjoyed the video. More to come soon. Have a good one.